Welcome to Mechs on Deck, episode 29. I'm back.
He's back.
Chewy's now feeling the sickness. He's down with the sickness, as some would say.
Always. No, bronchitis. I got bronchitis. Yeah.
Met it
Had
up.
to run it solo, but it worked out. Man of Interest is a fun dude.
I was bummed I couldn't be there, but I was like, I got sent home from work that day, and I pretty much slept from when I got home until, like, I was up for like a total of 3 hours that day, I think. So, not fun.
It happens.
But episode 29, we're going to be talking about the NorCal meetup a little bit. We're doing our top 10. It was a good time. NorCal was a good time. Lots of
we
boards.
we went over during the stream a little bit, but why don't you tell me your thoughts? Because they've heard my thoughts.
It was awesome, actually. I thought it was a great meetup. I think a lot of people complain sometimes about venue sizes being too small or not having enough room. I think NorCal was a good example of having maybe just a little bit under what they needed in space, which is kind of what you want for an event like this. You want to have people getting there early to get their stuff down. You want to have people able to come in and put their stuff down a little bit later if they need to, and have the whole place filled. And that's what it was. The whole place was filled with boards. Everyone was walking around. There was a good flow to the room. It always felt like you could circle back around and see something you didn't see before. The boy Nebulas brought like a table's worth of boards, which was awesome. And there's a lot of really cool people. I spent more time talking to people than looking at boards. I probably spent the most amount of time looking at boards in the first hour or first 45 minutes or so, because that's when there was a lot less people there, but a good amount of the boards that were there, that were already there. It's funny, we'll get into it in the list, but there's a board that was like just randomly there at the end that was incredible, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I had a great time. Hanging out with IME, URU, Olivia, Man of Interest, Nathan, Teja Types, Nebulant. Yeah, we had a good time. Baron as well from Smith and Rune. It was a good time.
Heck yeah. But yeah, so quick shout out before we get into our top 10 to our sponsors. We have Dixie Mech. You can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. You can pick yourself up some GMK Terra. There's a set that I am in on and very excited. So be sure, a couple more weeks left on that. Be sure to go check out that and use our link. It helps us continue to run the show. So we got switchmod.net. You can do switchmod.net/mechsondeck for 4% off your entire order of lube, springs, stickers. They've got little keister stickers that are really cool. So be sure to check that out. GMK Alter is running right now. And last up is Zap. So if you use from now, so this is coming out, today's Tuesday, so you'll have until probably the end of tomorrow to use Cable Party, promo code Cable Party for 15% off a DIY kit. So make sure to do that, because moving into our next section, we'll be doing a build stream of cables with Zap during our 24-hour stream.
Yeah, so if you don't know, we are doing our 24-hour stream this upcoming Saturday, the 23rd. Hopefully Chewy's feeling a little bit better. He's got meds, he's got time. I think he'll be hopefully feeling better.
The show must go wrong, as they say.
But 24-hour stream on the 23rd. It starts at noon Central Time, and we'll go until noon Central Time on the 24th. We plan on having Zap on around 7 p.m. Central Time, I believe. And If you want more info about giveaways, what we're doing, who we're going to have on, because there's going to be giveaways of things like GMK9, Terras. We're giving away a board. We're giving away some lube, a couple different artisans as well. So join our Discord and check out in our announcements channel. It's got kind of like a timeline of what's happening and when, and come hang out with us. So
yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so what we do, top 10, we go to the meetups and we rate the boards, and we think these are kind of what they are based off feeling and based off of how they look. We've done this for Houston and Dallas and Austin. So this will be the first one. Well, I guess we did one for the Seattle, just based off pictures.
yeah,
The first.
this is the first non-Texas that we actually went to that we're doing it based off of. So let's go ahead and take a look-see at the top 10. All right, first up, a board that I know Chewy is looking forward to getting his hands on.
I've been staring out this window for a majority of today because it was supposed to be delivered today. The KBD 8X. So I should be getting it tomorrow or today. This is being recorded on Monday. So surprise, we don't record at 10 at 10 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Movie magic. Anyway, KBD 8X with creams. I believe they were just stock creams and JTK Hyperfuse, which we haven't seen. I haven't personally seen yet. Kind of taking it back a little bit to the kind of pre-Hyperfuse origins, which kind of has its place a little bit. The board felt great. It was hefty. That white looks awesome. They did a fantastic job on the I guess it's E-white.
Yeah, it's an E-white.
I believe. So, and the little artisan there in the top right, just the whole board looks great. Only complaint is, come on, give me a mod colored pipe key.
Yeah. I mean, this one, it checks 2 out of Chewy's 3. The stepped caps, the flip space bar, but it is not split backspace. Granted, TKL's flip backspace is a little bit harder to come by. It's not not as preferred, I would say, in the community, but there are some people that still do it. It was a great board. It felt good. The E-white is great. It was exciting to see a 8X Mark II in person for the first time. I think this was the only one that was there. It's the only one I saw. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great looking board. It felt great. JTK Hyperfuse looked really, really good, which is nice to see. I know that's a set that just kind of shipped a month ago or 2 months ago. But yeah, it was a really good board.
Another thing I like about, and a lot of the Hyperfuse kits use, is the Windows key, the actual Windows logo key. I really like that.
I do wish that they had the option of getting I think it would be cool to have the old school Windows key.
Oh, the particles.
Yeah. Like I know I can't remember which set it is. There's a couple different sets that have that, and some of them are like EPBT and stuff, where it has the option where it's like got the different colors. It would have been cool to have that without the different colors, or maybe have like the purple and blue in there. Would have been sweet.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to remember. I know. Is that classic retro? Is that the one that has it?
I don't remember.
That picture is not big enough for me to tell, but if it would, that would be the set to do it. But yes, don't know the name. People didn't. Some of these we don't really have names on.
To be fair, I think I didn't put my name on mine. And I think Chewy didn't put his name on one of his.
Yep. I also mislabeled mine. So
yeah, it was funny because no one pointed it out until we got home and we were showing our mod Metallic Charles was showing us pictures that he had found of our boards, and he's like, "That's a really nice set of GMK 9s," and it was actually camping.
It was camping. It's just I've swapped camping on my OSA to show it off, and just out of I guess muscle memory, I was like, "Yeah, 9s is on the OSA." Duh. Speaking, actually, this isn't 9s. I remember because it's that top row. But next up on our list, is a Singa in rose gold. Not too many rose gold Singas. This one has Holy Jesus switches. Another big fan of Holy Jesus switches. This is GMK Carbon, the bone kit, I believe is what it was called. And it was cool to see. I haven't seen a lot of boards utilize, especially on the 75%, the row zero top row. It was cool to see. And this board sounded phenomenal. And if I remember correctly, because this is Baron's board, um, it's one of the only non-blemished rose gold Singas, which was cool to see.
Yeah, it was. Baron brought a ton of boards that were great, and there's a couple of them on here. Um, it felt great, sounded great, looks awesome. Like Chewy said, I actually hadn't seen the bone kit in person, I think. So it was cool to see kind of what was somewhat the inspiration for GMK9s, which is a set that we both have and really enjoy. Um, and personally, as far as like the actual layout, I'm not a big fan of this type of 75% layout, but you can't deny this board looks great. Like even if you don't like how like the clustered is, how it doesn't really break it up, it still was amazing. It sounded great. Yeah, definitely a solid board.
So next up, I was really excited to see this one in person because there are just so few of them. This is the J1 designed by Jay over at Top Clack. So this is Starstone. I'm dumb. I got all that big brain from all the medicine I'm on. But J1 with inks sounded great, felt great. All of his boards were awesome. But the J1, I mean, I doubt you'll ever be able to get your hands on one. But if you can try one out, it's a very fun like piece. It's just this giant chunk of metal, and it's super heavy, and that little pin rest is real nice, and the whole, it just, you can tell that like a lot of thought was put into how this board was designed.
Yeah, this board is awesome, and they're all prototypes. So I think there's only like 20 of them, maybe. They convinced them to do like a run of convinced Jay to do a run, I think, of 20. It might have been a little bit less than that. I don't know the exact number, but this board, it's so long. That's the thing, is it's so long for the layout that it is, but it's awesome, and it's super heavy, but it's like deceptively heavy. Like it doesn't feel as heavy as something like what we'll see later on here, which was a Kepler. The Kepler feels heavier because it's not as long, but they're pretty much almost the same weight. And yeah, this board felt great. It was really cool to feel the carbon fiber plate. Yeah, it was definitely an awesome board. It's unfortunate that this isn't going to be something that's going to be readily available for people. It's not going to be run as like an open group buy, but I can understand why. It looks expensive to make. It's a cool isolation mount. It's like true full isolation mount. The inks that were in it felt great. Lubed with Cristo 129, which I think is growing in popularity just because it's available on novel keys, but you don't see it very often. It did feel really good though. It felt great.
Yeah. And then I really like the just white on black on a black and gold board. Clean.
Yeah. Super clean. Super clean. Next up, one from Nebulas Table. He had a table all to himself, which rightfully so. He brought a ton of awesome boards. This is his Osa, which was awesome. It's an interesting change. So, excuse me, the switches in here, and you'll see it here. It's a polar yacht housing with T1 stem. looped with 3203. So it's like trying to fit a full blue theme, which you can't really tell. You might be able to see it, but the OSA is actually a very dark navy color, which matches Yuri really, really well. But the switches, they felt really good. It definitely made the T1 feel a little bit better, and it sounded better than the T1 does in its standard housing.
Yeah. It was, to me, it felt great, but it was weird because I was typing on the Alice for the week before and I use linears. So typing on the tactile Alice was like, whoa, timeout, different. But no, I think this is one of the better matchings of caps and to the case, and like just the Yuri with that navy. We're going to post the link to this Imgur album, and you can kind of see that it's that very dark navy, but yeah, it's an awesome set.
Yeah, it felt great. And Nebulas boards all were pretty awesome. Even he had some even clicky boards that were really cool and really unique. So if you get a chance, check out his boards. Definitely do it, because he's got a lot of fire, as some people would say.
Dude, he had fire for days. So this next picture I uploaded and didn't realize that I didn't get the picture in. So, but this next one is a E70 75%, the E7 as it's called, in white with hyperfuse. And I am looking up. My apologies. The switch is on here, but it looks fantastic. Kind of in reminiscent of your orange, the Foxlight, the Leaf Orange 75, where just Hyperfuse Origins just looks good on any whiteboard. The Hyperfuse Origins is just going to look amazing.
Yeah, and this board, it looks great. It's got the if any of y'all that are watching this watched the Dallas meetup where we looked over Myknos's board that had this similar like plate color, or I think his was the teal. This is more the purple.
Yeah.
His matrix was teal and it matched perfectly. This is the same idea, but it's the purple rather than the teal, that's awesome. Like you can match your plate where it just kind of peeks through a little bit, and it matches your key set. It just brings it up to another level. If I remember correctly, I think these are inks.
Zelio V2s, actually.
Zelio V2s, okay. Couldn't
Just found
remember.
The picture that I had with the card in it was like at an angle because there were a lot of people there. So some of these pictures we were like, I'm not the smallest human. So it was really trying to get around some people and try and get the best picture I could and get the information. But Zelio V2s, I mean, they feel great. So
yeah,
can't go wrong.
I will say it was funny mentioning that you're not the smallest human. We had a couple people come up to me and be like, "I didn't realize you were so tall." Yep. It's because I'm basically all legs.
Yep.
So
my favorite though was when people, because I am long hair, beard, very like, that's that guy. I know that guy. They would walk past Eric like immediately and they'd be like, "Hey, where's Osiris?" I'm like, "You literally bumped into him." Like he's standing right next to you.
Just because I'm so tall, I'm above them. They don't see me. But up next we have our boy. I am me, you are you. The guy we spent the most time with, him and his buddy.
And we're moving into the top 5 at number 5.
Number 5, his Salamander with Brown Alps and SGI beige. I know he's not the biggest fan of this board, for the sheer fact that the board's plate material, I think it's PBT, and he doesn't really like it as much as if it was maybe brass or something other than PBT. Just doesn't sound as good from the Brown Alps, and you could hear that it doesn't sound as good for Brown Alps, but Brown Alps still feel amazing.
No, this was the board that we did the comparison on. So I actually spent a lot of time on this board, probably more time on that board than any other board at the meetup. So, but yeah, I mean, he builds great boards. The guy knows what he's doing. And then also, I kind of like the orange. The orange stuck out. You don't see a lot of orange boards.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of cool to see something different from, we've got black, white, gray, and silver, and then like purple, and we're seeing a lot of like blues come through, but orange is not something that we see that often. So it was nice to see something different.
Plus, it's nice to see something that's not like, hey,
Yep.
we've pretty much all we've had on top tens that's Alps has been some form of an apple.
Yep.
So it's cool to see something a little bit different. And then up next, you were in love with this one.
I really did like this one. So this made me kind of want to build a polycarb plate cream build. So this is a Cypher. I love this layout. It's a mini 1800 style layout. Basically, it's a 60% with a numpad and arrow keys, or an 1800 layout without the F-row. Another one by Starstone. Got GMK Oblivion on it. It looks great, but it felt better. And I think typing wise, this was the best linear board that I typed on. So he did an excellent job on this.
This one felt great. I didn't spend a ton of time with this one, but that was because I was like, ooh, this is nice. And then I was like, let me because I know that one's good. The PTFE is a cool way to lube. I know that's what Jay, when he built his, can't remember what it is, but he did a build with creams probably about 9 or 10 months ago, and he used PTFE, and it does feel really, really good on the creams. And it's really, really inexpensive to get. So if you're looking for something, you don't want to maybe shell out for 3204 or 205 grade 0, look into PTFE, because it really does make him feel great. Takes a little bit more time. It's good. One thing about this board, Oblivion round 1, that's a fairly old key set. This had very minimal shine on it. Actually, was talking with him for about 15 minutes after this. Like, how do you keep your set so clean? Obviously, he has a lot of different boards, but it looks great. Oblivion's a beautiful set. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit upset that I didn't get in Oblivion after looking at this, because it's such a clean look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, polycarbonate plate felt great. And that layout's so cool. I remember the first time I saw this was actually on like an AliExpress board. I think I remember sending it to you, but it was a little bit different. I think it had the
F keys instead of the number row.
No, the number row was split
the
off.
number row was split,
like the F keys. So it was really, really interesting in how it was done. But it's pretty cool. I think it's a really cool layout, and I don't think that the actual buy has shipped yet. I'm not sure. But
I haven't really followed up.
Yeah. Looked great, felt great, sounded awesome. Good job, man.
Well done. And another one by Starstone. The Kepler. So Kepler, great board, weighs 15 bajillion pounds, feels like. Holy Jesus switches on there with GMK Space Cadet. It's a very clean looking build. I think Cadet looks the best on like TKLs and up, because I think it kind of adds to that. This reminds me of a spaceship. Like this makes me think like if I sat down in front of this, I'd be at a spaceship. So, and of course, the first thing I did is walked over to Starstone. I was like, "Can I pick this up?" So,
yeah, I think we both did. I was like, "Can I pick it up?" He's like, "Yeah, no worries." And I was like, wait, I don't want to just walk over there and pick it up because then other people will see that I did that. It's like, just hang out with me. But yeah, the Kepler felt great. It's super heavy. The PVD on the bottom is actually done really, really well, especially for this being a prototype. You know, I talked to 159 a decent amount, hang out with him, Top Clack Discord every now and then, and so I've kind of heard about the process of getting these made and how much care and time he's taking to make sure everything is 100% up to snuff on these. And even for a prototype, it's an awesome board. Again, he's got the Holy Jesus, but he's got Crystal Lube 129, and it felt good. It felt great. And gonna go back to something like what happened with the E7. The carbon fiber plate matches the keys, the alphas for Space Cadet. It's subtle, but it's there. And yeah, like you said, Space Cadet looks great on a TKL where you really let those blue keys shine. Really get a good transition. Can't remember what I'm trying to say, but yeah. And the little Rama Waves cap, really. It's a nice little touch.
Just subtle.
And I do want to give a quick shout out. I don't know if you and Huey talked about this, but the guy that actually had the original Space Cadet board, that thing was awesome.
We have that. We have our video, our vlog, or whatever it's called, coming out soon. TM.
Soon. I have to.
We've got a busy week. But and we interviewed this guy that's got one of the actual units that had it on there. He like walked around and refused to put it down.
It was awesome.
So cool dude.
Next.
Up next.
Number two,
Think 6.5. This had Holy Pandas in it. With GMK Cyrillic, originative Cyrillic. This is probably the best sounding board at the meetup IMO. Like it sounded so good. The Think 6.5 is a cool board. I know it's a 65%. Wouldn't spend money on it, but I do appreciate that it was well built, and I appreciate I'm liking more and more. I don't know if I'm still gonna. I don't think I would buy one just because I don't like the look, but the sound of a polycarb build, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I think after messing around with the Sirius, I've had it for a couple weeks now, almost a month. I'm having a newfound love for plastic boards, and this board just kind of reassured that, as well as there's actually a polycarbonate iron 165 just above it that was also basically it was basically the same build in terms of it was Holy Pandas had DMG on it, but they both felt great. This one edged it out a little bit, and we didn't. That's why we put this one on. Really cool board. A key set that you don't see very often, but is readily available. I think you can still get it on originative. You might not be able to, but I know for a long time it was.
You absolutely can. $200.
Yeah, and you can shell out the money for it. You can get yourself a cool looking GMK set. I think 6.5 was great. There was a couple of these there, a couple of the aluminum ones, none of the brass ones, unfortunately. This one definitely took the cake of all the Think 6.5s that were there.
Absolutely. So this last one, the picture is the worst because it was literally after everything was over. And we don't know. We don't know. The only thing I had to like get down and have my face basically right next to it so that I could see the switch. And I think it was a Holy Panda.
Yeah.
I think based off sound and based off of the color of the switch, we think it was a Holy Panda, but we don't actually 100% know. but it's the Koyu in tank. I don't know if it was tank or tank light,
It was
because
the
he was
tank.
not.
It was
It
the
was the
tank
full tank.
because I picked it up.
No, I didn't pick it up. But it this sounded good. This felt good. It was, I mean, it's 11 pounds. If you dropped it through the table, it would break the table in half. Like, it was a solid. And then how good this looks, because so most of the pictures were taken during the day. So there's a lot of natural lighting. And then this was like basically at night. So all the overhead lights were on. So it couldn't get like the greatest picture because all these reflections off of the extremely shiny board didn't help.
Well, it was
But
also like, okay, so the way that this happened, I'm Chewy is like not even next to me. I think you're talking to Huey and I, me, you, or you, and some other people, and I'm packing up our stuff, and we're like getting ready to leave. And this board is literally just sitting on a table, the table next to us, by itself. No name card, nothing. Like the card that's under it, that's not the name card for it. That's someone else's name card, and it's literally just sitting there. And I'm like, oh, that's a Koyu. That's a tank Koyu.
Hmm.
I haven't seen one of these in a while. Let me type on it. And I was like, oh, wow. And I look up and I'm like, Dave or Chewy, come here, come here. And he's like, what? And I point out, I'm like, try this. It's awesome. And man, it was like the biggest shock at the end. And it was just funny. I wish we knew whose it was. If you're watching this video and this board is yours, or you know whose board this is, let us know. We'd love to give him a shout out. This thing was awesome. It's a little dirty. It does have fingerprints all over it, but with a PVD case,
it's got some character.
Yeah, with a PVD case, it's hard to keep it clean. You might as well love on it. It's been thoroughly loved.
Exactly.
But it looks great. GMK black on white.
Clean.
White on black, sorry. Black on white. That's it. Fully pandas, like 99.9% sure. If it was something different, maybe it could have been like a Xanda. Maybe like an amazing T1. But felt incredible. Looks great. The Koyu is such a well put together board. Yeah. It was awesome.
So that is our top 10. I think Starstone had the most with 3.
He did.
Yep.
He did. Baron came in second with 2.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let us know what you guys' thoughts were, maybe what your board is in the comments. There were also, I mean, I was talking about this in the hotel room right after. It was hard to put together a list, and I spent some time on it, but I didn't spend that much because I knew if I just sat there and went over and over and over, because there were so many awesome boards here.
There were multiple times
yeah.
where we came up to each other during the meetup. We're like, how are we gonna do this? Like, there was like a whole, not just table, but like side of the meetup that was all vintage boards, which you'll see in the vlog. There was just so many boards that were incredible. It was really hard to put a list together. We did it. If you don't agree, let us know. You agree? If any of these were your boards, just let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Some of them we don't have usernames for, so if you can claim them, that'd be awesome. Yeah, NorCal was a great time. I'm excited that we were able to go. It was a fun time.
And thank you for everyone who donated to the cause of helping us get to NorCal. We definitely appreciate that. We were able to have a blast, and you guys helped us get there. So thank you.
Absolutely. And again, come hang out with us. This Wednesday, we will be streaming with Apiary Keyboards. She will be on. We'll be talking to her about different things, builds, community, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a good time. you don't know who she is, come by, hang out. And then, of course, Saturday, the 23rd, come hang out for a little bit. Come say hi. We're going to be up there for 24 hours. It's going to be grueling, painstaking, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. So come hang out with us. Come play games with us. Participate in chat. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So finishing up, quick shout outs to our sponsors, mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. Go get GMK Terra. Use our code, helps the stream out. Switchmod.net/mechsondeck for 4% off your entire order. That is not group buy, but springs, lube, whatever you need from him, get you 4% off. And Zap Cables, you can go get a DIY kit and make sure to get it. I would try and get it today so that you can get it shipped out. Use promo code Cable Party, all caps, CABLEPARTY, and get you 15% off your DIY kit. So,
Absolutely. Join us on Discord. Sub to the YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. See y'all.
whoop, buy a Switch tester. Got there.